Hey guys, Brian Hilliard here, author of the best-selling book Networking Like a Pro and creator of the popular program How to Build an Audience and Get a Steady Stream of Coaching Clients Without Being Pushy. And today I am fired up because I want to talk to you about a great way to anticipate whether or not a prospect will work with you as a coaching client. All the time we're out there, we're talking to different people, we're getting referrals, we're, obviously growing our practice and doing these types of things. And it can be tough, right? You're trying to build your practice. You're trying to get a steady stream of coaching clients. I got to tell you, I remember when I first got started and even when a few years afterwards, I was having a devil of a time trying to get people to actually work with me and to find people who would actually be able to afford my rates. I would talk to folks. They would be nodding. They would be taking notes, nodding some more, taking more notes. And then the money thing came up and it was like, oh, you are great, but I can't afford you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I need to do in order to get myself in front of people who can actually afford my rates and hire me as their coach? Which, to be honest with you, is why I work with coaches and consultants to help them build an audience and get a steady stream of coaching clients without being pushy. Because I got to tell you, I have run into tons of people who are really good at what they're good at. They've got a world-class training background and a strong commitment, but they just don't have the right systems and tools for attracting enough prospects who could actually afford their rates. So what I do is I help coaches and consultants build an audience and get a steady stream of coaching clients without being pushy, salesy, or otherwise over the top. Which brings me to a great way, our point today, a great way to be able to determine or anticipate or to figure out, however you want to put it, whether or not a prospect is going to work with you. And here's how I do it. I call it a quality of prospect. All right, so it's a little bit of a measurement, and it has three parts to it. All right, so just kind of bear with me here, and this will make sense. All right, so if you go with the idea that not all prospects are created equally, all right, and I want to make this point too. All right. If you go with the idea that not all prospects are created equally, and we're not having a value judgment, we're not saying Sally Sue is better or worse than Johnny Smith, who might be better or worse than, this guy over here. It's not that conversation. What we are saying, though, is that some prospects are more likely to sign with you than others, okay? And as a result, not all prospects are going to be created equally. You, as the business owner, as the coach, need to be able to have a real good feeling as to how that works. All right, so I actually look at it in three kind of things, all right? First thing I do is, and this is a good start, it's an easy one. First thing I do is I figure out if they have a problem that I can solve. Right? And I said it was easy because as most coaches, most people, we've been doing this for, I've been doing it for over 15 years. Maybe everyone hasn't done it that long, and that's fine. But, even if you've been, maybe not just starting, but if you've been doing this for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, when you talk to somebody, you can tell whether or not that there's a problem that you can solve, right? So that's the first part. And most coaches, knock them dead on that. Now, the second area is where things get a little dicey, and that's getting into what my high school football coach, Coach Ornado, used to call the want to, right? As in, does the person want to make a change? Are they motivated to move forward? Okay, I could have a problem. I might have a problem with my, I don't know if you guys know I play a lot of golf. If you've seen me speak or listened to me before, I play a lot of golf. I didn't play as much last year as I wanted to, but I do like getting out there. And, I might have a problem with my driver. I actually did for a while. I couldn't figure it out for a while. I had a problem with my driver, but that didn't necessarily mean that I wanted to fix it, okay? My drives before weren't nearly going as far as they should. Problem. But I had to actually want to learn how to fix it. I actually I don't know if I went to a coach or if I actually got a lesson or I forgot how I did it. I think I watched some film. That's what it was. I actually wound up watching some film of myself, which was very interesting. Whole nother conversation, but I watched my own swing on film. Helped me a lot. Anyway, I had to want to change, okay? So when you're looking at a prospect, do they have a problem? All right, check. But do they also have the want to change? Because if they don't, then you're kind of dead in the water. One of the things I tell people is you can't want success for somebody else. I mean, I didn't make that up, but that's something I tell people. You can't want success for another person. So they have to have that want to. And then the third thing when you're assessing the quality of a prospect is then you need to take a look at, all right, they have a need, they have a challenge, they have a problem. Then they say, all right, well, it seems like that they want to do it, right? This is something that they want to do and they want to move forward. All All right, then finally, the third step is, does it look like that they actually have the ability to compensate you for that? Like, okay, so they have a problem and they want to change. Now, do they have the ability to compensate you for that? Because how many times have you as a coach, and I'm speaking for myself, but I think I can speak for others, where we've met somebody who has a problem, we've met somebody who wants to change, and then we don't have, right? They don't have the money to be able to do that. And, part of it is when people hear that, they're like, oh, Brian, well, you're so mean. I don't say you're mean, but, it's like, oh, well, maybe we can figure out how to make the money work. And yeah, you definitely can. If the first two things are in there. Yes, if I have a problem and I want to change, then yes, I'm interested in working the money out. The problem is that we usually see the first with the person, they don't maybe have the second, and then we try to make the third work out. Whole nother conversation. Okay, but when you're talking about, your practice, and you're talking about trying to anticipate where it's going to go, and you're talking about being able to really get, in my opinion, a steady stream of clients, obviously we're all looking at the clients that we get in the door. No question about that, okay? But I think an underrated aspect of growing and moving your practice forward is looking at the quality of the prospects that you have. Are they on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, or do they have a need? 5, check. Okay. Do they have a want to? 5, check. Okay. Do they have a means? It seems like they have the means to be able to do that. Ooh, 2, not so check. Okay. And that, I think, will absolutely help you as you're looking around your practice and taking a look at. So I would encourage you right now, like today, go back and look at your prospects. See on a scale of 1 to 5 where each one of them stand, and then pull it together. And if you're not above, on average, 3 or 4, and that 3 or 4 with 5 being the highest, if you're not, then you have a prospect quality problem, not necessarily a coaching problem, not necessarily a building an audience problem per se, not necessarily even a messaging problem, although some of those are related. You have a quality of prospect problem, and that's where you need to start, figure out your niche market, and if you're talking to the right folks. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's something that you can see yourself using. If you'd like, swing on by our Facebook page. You can go to facebook.com, look up our group. We got a group out there, how to get higher paying coaching clients. Put that in the group section. Bing, bang, boom. We will get you set up and on your way. But in the meantime, my name is Brian Hilliard, saying so long, take care, and thanks so much for your time.